to go over both of these products and how to set up users and how to run reports and send secure emails. So we're going to start with directsend. directsend is provided by Secure Exchange Solutions. It allows a secure exchange of patients' information. It is accessible from the Management Plus home screen or from inside an open EHR visit. It's NWHIN exchange participant, which means that it's meaningful use compliant. directsend needs to be set up by Management Plus support team. They will give you your directsend addresses. You need a practice address, and you need an address for each physician that will be sending messages. Okay, so let's show you how to launch the directsend from your Management Plus home screen. We start at File, and we move down to Electronic Health Record, and then down to directsend. This will launch the email client. Secure Exchange Solutions directsend. Here's some points on directsend. It allows a secure exchange of patient information. It's accessible from the Management Plus home screen or from inside an EHR visit. It's NWHIN exchange participant, which means that it's meaningful use compliant. It needs to be set up by the Management Plus support team. They actually will give you your directsend addresses. You need a practice address, once again, and an address for each physician who will be sending messages. Okay, so now that everybody can see my screen, let's start over again here. So we have our home screen of Management Plus. We go to File, Electronic Health Record, and directsend, and this will launch the email client. Okay, so let's show how to add the directsend addresses to your Management Plus users and how to check and verify that you have one assigned to you as a Management Plus user. Okay, so we go to File, Administration, and from Administration we scroll down to Security, and from Security we scroll to Users. Now this will open up our list of users. We're going to pick Jennifer first and right-click and go to Edit User, and we'll see that Jennifer already has a directsend address listed for her in the box that says directsend addresses. This will be the address that she has access to the inbox and to send messages from. So we can copy and paste this address into another employee. So we'll pick Mindy Smith, directsend address box, and paste the same message in. Now, doing a copy and paste is advisable because it makes sure that you're getting the exact address in and will avoid any typos. So let's watch that one more time. And let's add it to Matthew, our employee, in the directsend address box, and we will paste it in. So now all of these employees will have access to check messages from that inbox and send directsend messages from that specific address. Okay, so how do we check our directsend inbox? So same thing, we launch it from the Management Plus home screen. And when it launches, it will look like this. Now you'll see all of the messages in your inbox on the left here. And you can see a display view on the right of the message that you select. Now, the address that you see in the top there, the mplus@directaddress.net, is the inbox that we are looking at. From the screen, we can also push to send a message, but we can also check any of our directsend addresses that are assigned to us by clicking on the arrow and picking whichever directsend address we want to check the inbox for. Okay, So how do we send a message with attachments? So this one's a little bit different because we're actually launching the direct send from inside of the EHR visit. And when we launch it from inside of the EHR visit, it automatically pops up the CCD options that you can add to automatically attach to the message. So we see all of them that are automatically included, and they're all auto-checked, but you can uncheck any ones that you don't want to be attached to that CCD. So when we click OK, we'll see right away that there's an XML and an HTML file automatically attached for you. This is the CCD. The CCD is an XML and HTML document. Okay. Now from here, if we want to send the message, we have to pick which physician we want to send the message to. So there are two different ways that we can do this. We can just pick which physician we want. If they already have their direct send address listed, it will pull it directly through. Now, if the physician that we want to send the message to does not have a direct send address yet, we can add it. So if you pick one and they don't have it, you'll get this little error message that says this physician does not have a direct send email address. And we can click OK. So we click 2 again, and we pick that same physician, and then we go to Edit. Under the Contact Information tab, you'll see a new area for their direct send address. So you will be responsible for collecting these addresses from the doctors that you're referring out to. But once you put it in here for them once, you can just pick their physician name from the direct send to, and it will automatically pull that test mail email address through. And we can type anything into the body of our message here. Now, once we have our message ready to go, if we wanted to attach anything else, all we have to do is click on the Attach button, and it will bring up a File Explorer. And we can attach any documents like a Word document or an image, anything that's available on our computer we can attach. So we see we attached a photo, which was a JPEG, and it's ready to be sent. Now the significance here is that if you wanted to send any attachments from the EHR visit, you would need to export them to a file location on the computer and then import them as an attachment when you open the direct send. Okay, so some final tips on direct send. You can't send a message to a non-secure source like Yahoo or Gmail. The recipients must also have an NWHIN Exchange participant email provider, which means they need to be meaningful use compliant. If you have any errors with opening direct send, or if you get any error messages when you're trying to send a direct send message, please contact our technical support team. If you need additional training on how to set up any accounts or how to send a message or attach documents, you will contact your EHR specialist. Okay, so let's move to CQM Solutions. CQM Solutions is a report that mines data within your Management Plus database for information. You have to choose 9 of the 12 measures for meaningful use compliance. It's set up by our Management Plus support team, and what we found is it works best with a Chrome or Firefox set as your default browser. If you use an older version of Internet Explorer, there can be some display issues and overlapping of text. So a user needs to be set up for each reporting physician. All reports will be saved for future reference, and the report has been certified specifically to meet meaningful use requirements. Okay, so how do we launch our CQM report? We launch the CQM report in almost exactly the same way that we launch our meaningful use report. So go to File and scroll down to Electronic Health Record, and scroll down to EHR Reports. And right underneath your meaningful use report is a meaningful use report CQMs. And when you select this, it will actually launch your web browser to the login page of CQM Solutions report. Okay, so this is the home screen after you've logged in to your CQM Solutions report. And it's going to show us all of the reports that have been run per user here. So let's see how we create a new user. So at the top, you'll see your menu options. You have Home, you have Create Report, and you have Administration. Now, if you're logged into the administrator, you will be able to create a new user. So we go to Administration, and then scroll down to Users. And this will bring us to our user screen. Now, the user screen will show you what their username is. It'll show what their first and last name is, and their email address that's attached with the account. We can edit any existing users' information, passwords, things like that, or we can scroll over here to click Add User to create a new user. So each user needs a username, and each user needs to have an email. And each user has to have a different email. You cannot use the same practice email to set up all of your different users. So if you're setting up 5 different accounts for 5 different physicians running reports, they will all need a separate email address. So we put in a password, put in the information, first name and last name, and then the external user ID. Now the external user ID, if your CQM report is up to date, is actually the physician ID from Management Plus. So if you don't know the physician ID, there is a custom report you can run to find it, and if you need help with that, support can help you. If you were on an older version of the CQM report, then this external user ID was the NPI number. And if that's so, you need to contact support to have your CQM report updated. Okay, so we put in the external user ID, pick the role as clinician, and then click Add, and we have ourselves a CQM user. Okay, so how do we run a report once we're inside of CQM Solutions and we've logged in as our user? So we see the same options on the top. We have Home, Create Report, and Administration. This time we're going to click on Create Report. Now each report should have a description, so it's easier for you to find. You can call it a test and then the physician's name or whatever you want. You want to put your beginning date as the date that you want it to start collecting data, and then your end date is the date you want it to stop collecting data. So they've added these convenient add markers, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. And you want to pick which type of user we're eligible professional. And then you come through and choose exactly which CQMs you want your report to run. Conveniently, there's a Select All button that will select all 12 CQMs. And there's an Unselect button that will take them off for you. So we're going to go ahead and select all, scroll down and make sure that everything is selected here, and then when you're ready, go ahead and click Queue Report. Okay, so once your report has been run, we're going to show you how to review that report. Okay, so from this screen, you will see all the reports that have been run. You can decide how many you want it to show. Listed by description, which measures you chose can be reviewed as well. It'll show you the date that the report was run and the measurement period that you ran the report for. The status should say complete. If the status says anything other than complete, then you need to contact support. Okay, so when we click on View Results, it will pull up each individual CQM and show you your individual numerator and denominator data per CQM. Very easy to scroll through these options, or if you want to jump to one, you can click the hot link on the side, and it will jump straight down to that measure for you. And once you're finished reviewing your report, you can go back to the home screen, review another report, or you can log out of the report as that user, which will take you back to the login screen. Okay, some tips about CQM Solution. CQMs have specific criteria that must be met in order to report. This includes a specific number of visits, specific CPT codes billed, and ICD-9/SNOMED codes listed for the visit. Some CQMs require specific data entry to be done by the practice. CQM is not PQRS, and it is reported separately. You can contact your HR specialist if you have any specific questions regarding the report data and numerator and denominator values. You can contact Management Plus support if your report is not running properly or is ending in a failed status instead of a complete status. Okay, so that concludes our webinar for today. Once again, if you have any specific questions, you can contact your EHR specialist or the Management Plus support team. Thank you to everybody for attending.